What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. I hope everyone is healthy and well today. Welcome, all my new supporters. Today, I bring to you highly requested. Today, we'll be reacting to why I left the United States of America for Norway. I can give you a few reasons as to why people leaving the U.S. right now to go elsewhere. For real. I mean, I could go down the list. We're not even going to start that right now. I don't know why it looked like I'm sweating. It's really just the lights. It's really just the lights reflected on my skin. I ain't even sweating for real, but it got me looking crazy. Original video link will be down below in the description. Let's jump right into this, man. Thank you for all the recommendations. A lot of people been leaving the U.S. lately, you know. She ain't the first. I don't know how long ago this was created, but I mean, mad people, even like our doctors and stuff, they leaving us. I'm like, we ain't got no doctors. I'm at the hospitals. You go past the hospitals, it's a shortage of doctors. It says doctors and nurses, help wanted, needed. We're in trouble, bro. We're screwed. It's over for us. Over.
By the third time, I had to put my students into a closet because there was someone on campus with a weapon.
Oh, what? Oh, for real though. It was like no drill? Oh, 3 times? You ain't got no security?
To put my students into a closet because there was someone on campus with a weapon. That's when I knew it was time for me to quit my job and move back to Norway. So the first time I lived in Norway, it was 2014. I really struggled because my immigration was disapproved and I couldn't be with my husband, who is a Norwegian citizen. And I decided, okay, it's probably best because I'm miserable. I don't have a job. I have very little friends. I don't really have money to even go out and grab a coffee with these people, let alone go out and grab lunch or go to the bar like they wanted to do. So I felt like I couldn't create the friendships that I wanted as well. So we decided that in 2015, we would move back to the United States, and we moved to Florida where we had met in the previous years. And then I got him to agree to move to a new city in Florida where I could have my dream job. I mean, this job, I did not hit the snooze button, not once. I was up and I commuted for more than an hour each way to and from work because I actually loved the job that I had. I really loved teaching. It was a struggle in the beginning because I had to learn how to teach to children, which I had never done before. But after a while, I started to feel confident and I started building a great relationship with these children. But with all the safety concerns that kept happening and we had to keep going into lockdown, it was weighing on me.
Man, that's
Every
crazy.
day I would drive to work thinking, I don't know, is today the last day? Are we going to be the ones that are on the news next? I'm not really sure. And then it's also really hard when you're a school teacher and you have children that are at an age where they understand what's going on. And they're the ones crying and you're the ones trying to comfort them, but really you're crying inside too.
Crying.
You have to hold it together, and you also start to question how much is too much information that I'm giving these children.
No, look, you got to give them all the information, no matter how much it's going to make them cry. Would you rather them cry when the gunman is inside the room? Yeah? Or would you rather just drop the news and they start boo-hooing? It's okay. You know, at least they know and they're aware now. I told you I was paranoid as a little kid. You could tell me nothing as a kindergartner. I told you I didn't want to sit in the car by myself. I told you the story before. What did I tell you the story? I got so many channels, man. Probably didn't tell y'all. I got so many channels. I'm sorry, man, but I used to be scared to sit in the car alone as a little kid. Imagine a 4-year-old sitting in the car, man. Preschool, kindergarten. You said, well, 4, then I was turning 5, and then I went to kindergarten at 5. Yeah. So I was really in preschool, actually, at 4 years old, and I'm sitting in the car with enough common sense to know, hey, mommy, lock these doors when you go out. I didn't trust society at all. I'm thinking it's about to go down. I used to think the same way in school. And I'm a little kid, bro. Imagine I had to like grow up in the city and everything. And I had to always go to the city. And, you get used to just seeing a lot. So I was a little more adapted to it. And a little more aware of the world than a lot of kids my age. I noticed that. It really separated me. And they really looked at me like I was weird. I'm like, okay. Like, you're... Look at that, like, where'd you come from? We come from the same place. And they probably thinking it now, like, the world we live in. But I've been thinking like this, man. I've been thinking like this. I've been knew we was finished.
To question,
Tell me
how
nothing.
much is too much information that I'm giving these children when I'm not their parent. I don't know how to do this. I also went to a school where at that time they didn't have any procedures of what to do. So I had a closet that was like doubling as my office. So that's where I decided when it came on the speakers, we are in code red lockdown. I just took that as, okay, lockdown, that means something serious is happening. And I know I'm in the United States. I have a feeling like I know what's going on. And luckily, I actually had another teacher with me at the time. And we had taken some things out of the closet and went inside. And that was the first experience. It happened a second time. It happened a third time. And I had other teachers afterwards telling me that they too were concerned. But I had another group of teachers that were saying, it's nothing you can control. It's out of your control. So don't worry about it. Just show up to work and do your thing.
What do you mean? It's my life. It's my life. Man, I should have control over every little thing that happens in my life. If I don't got a control over it, I gotta bounce. I gotta go. Because how you playing with my life? I ain't got no control. Imagine letting somebody run up into school and take your life. Imagine letting somebody run up in your home and take your life. Imagine somebody, letting them break into your car and rob you or take your life. No. We shouldn't have to adapt or accept these things. Get used to it. Man. And frankly, I'm not going out like that. I'm keeping 100. I'm not going out like that. How you got my life in your hands and you just could, what? I don't know how other people kind of look at that situation, but me, I don't know. It kind of sets me off. Thinking, like, oh, somebody got my life in your hands. That's actually going to, like, set me off the chain. I'm going to do something about that. I'm not about to sit there, oh, my gosh. Nah, I think Strac finna save the day. I'm keeping 100. We finna do something. We about to do something. What do you about to sit here? Nobody should have to think like that. Nobody should have to be like that. The only people that should be protecting and serving are the police officers, the military, the firefighters, the EMS. I'm a regular civilian, you know what I'm saying? We should not have to be going through this fight for our lives. Man, we got to change that. Somebody say, if you just take the pipes away from everybody, then what? Ain't nobody blowing nothing down, Take them away. Even if you on duty, I don't care if you on a base, if you're an officer, the security guard, you could leave it on base or at the department, at your job location. Don't bring it home. Matter of fact, you can't even have one in your home now. So now that lessens the chance of you getting robbed because most people, doing robberies, they need some type of weapon. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a firearm. Unless I don't know who they think they are. They running up with something else. But like, come on. At that point, that's where that self-defense comes. That real self-defense, if you know how to do that. But like, all this weapon stuff, man, it's so cool. Now I'm sitting here, fear for my life. I'm trying to go around the corner, go get some deodorant. I'm sitting here watching my back. Which way? That don't make no sense. It's the world we live in.
It's out of your control. So
out of your control. Like,
it's
what?
Nothing you can control. It's out of your control. So don't worry about it. Just show up to work and do your thing and hope for the best.
Oh, no. We're not hoping nothing.
You know what? It is in my control because I am lucky, very, very lucky that my husband is a Norwegian citizen. And I will move back to Norway and I will find some kind of way to be approved for immigration this time around. So my choice to leave the United States was because of safety. But when I got back home, the day that I decided, that's it, this is the 3rd lockdown, I'm so done with this job, even though I wish I could pack up all of my students because I love them so much. I wish I could just pack them up and take them to Norway where they would be safe.
I'm like, man, wait, hold on, wait a minute. I'm like, man, wait. It only took her 3 times. We used to these drills. We've been hearing this since, little babies. We had these drills since little babies, since toddlers. It took her 3, and she was out. I don't know how many times, boy. If I got a penny for every time we heard those drills come up on the speakers, I think I have at least 6 figures saved up. That's being accurate. Yeah, it got to the point we was looking forward to the drill. Oh, we gonna have a drill today? Oh, yo, bro, there ain't finna be no class or nothing, just nothing but drills. Are we gonna have a drill today? You know, we little kids, we like, oh, we don't have to have school. You know, ain't this or that. We, you know, it stops the class time and everything. I mean, unless we're in gym class, it's an issue. But like, or recess is an issue. But other than that, we just wanted class to stop. We just wanted class to stop. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I was like, wait a minute. I used to tell my friends, but maybe we shouldn't, you know, maybe we should just continue with class and not hope for that, because what if it did happen? I'm a little kid saying this, and the teacher used to just tell me to shh. You know, I don't want to get the students all riled up. Why? Tell them the truth. Bro, that's foul. That's foul. Because if somebody came running up in that school, got to blowing it down, I knew where to go. I knew where to, I'll jump out the window. I got to do this and that. I'm not about to stay in the classroom with you people. Same thing with the fire drills. I'm not about to stay here and follow your guidance, your lead. I'm out of here. I already got my escape plan on about you. You know? They think this is like we all about to stay in a single file line if somebody come run up in this school with a firearm or something. All type of stuff. Like we about to sit there with our Indian cross legs sitting there. You know, the Indian sitting style, how they be crossing their legs. We gonna sit on the floor and be quiet. You know little kids not gonna be quiet. So therefore you're doomed either way. Bro, I'm as a little kid, I was thinking about this all the time. I could jump out the window. Like, I used to be thinking about what if somebody's outside? No little kid should be thinking about that. If I jump out the window, yay, I'm out the school. But then what if they have people waiting for us outside in case somebody jump out the window? That's pretty sad.
Because of safety.
Sad.
But when I got back home, the day that I decided, that's it, this is the third lockdown, I'm so done with this job, even though I wish I could like pack up all of my students because I love them so much. I wish I could just like pack them up and take them to Norway where they would be safe, where they would have free healthcare and dental, and none of them would go hungry, because that was another thing I had to watch all the time, and it just brings me to tears thinking about it. I'm going to try to not cry in this video because I want to get out the information as nicely or as articulate as possible. But it was really sad to see that children would wear two backpacks to school, one in the front and one in the back. And I remember the first time I saw one of these kids wearing two backpacks, I knew how goofy he was, and he was a little bit of a troublemaker. So I said to him, "Where are you going? And whose backpack is that? Did you take someone's backpack? The one on the front there? That's not yours." And he's like, "Yes, it is." And I said, "What? What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, there's diapers in here for my baby brother and food so that my family can eat this weekend." And I felt like such an idiot because...
Wait. So your family could eat this weekend? You collecting food from school? Bro, that's scraps for you and your family. That's not enough. Oh, that's sad. I don't like that. That's that one thing. I don't like seeing people hungry, bro. I don't like seeing people hungry. I don't care if you're my enemy. I gotta feed you. I gotta feed you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be my worst enemy, but I gotta feed you. I can't see somebody down and out like that, man. I don't know. Maybe some people do know what it's like to be hungry, bro. That hungry feeling, I'd never go back. I'd never go back to that feeling. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing to miss for real. You sitting there hungry and you know you can't do nothing. Like nothing. Absolutely nothing about it, bro. Nothing about it. Like that. I don't know. I don't like that.
What do you mean? He goes, "Yeah, there's diapers in here for my baby brother and food so that my family can eat this weekend." And I felt like such an idiot because I had come from such a privileged background and I didn't even know how these things worked in this city that I lived in. However, this city, it was unsafe. It was a low income area mixed with some people that had like big beaches, like mansions or houses on the beach. So you had like a big mix of families coming from different incomes. So I remember that hit me too, where I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many of these kids that need help. I don't know, it just breaks my heart because you also get to meet the parents and they're so kind and so giving, and they still have like hope in their eyes. Even though they're working at Walmart at night, their children have to walk through basically the ghetto.
You a real, she's a real one. Man, I love this video. Man, I love this video. She's a real one for going down the list like this. Like, this is real life for real, you know? This is real life. How many of my people worked at Walmart? I had to work at Walmart before. Them grueling hours. You know they give hours. The grueling hours. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, for real. I like how she going down the list.
They're
man.
So kind and so giving, and they still have like hope in their eyes. Even though they're
Facts.
working at Walmart
It's
at
that
night,
faith.
their children have to walk through basically the ghetto to get home from school. And these kids are only like 5 years old, some of them, wearing 2 backpacks, mind you. And as a teacher, I just had to say, like, okay, bye, good luck. I hope you get home all right. See these families struggling. And the reason I decided to leave the States is because I saw myself kind of getting to that point. I didn't have the education. I didn't have the money to keep going. I thought, okay, now that I have like this little bit of chunk of money, I'm gonna get myself back to Norway. When I came home to my husband the day that I was deciding, okay, today's the day, I have to tell him, like, thank you so much for moving to the city and moving away from Norway just for me, for my dream job. But guess what? I don't want to stay here. I don't want this job anymore. I'm losing my mind. I'm scared for myself, and I'm losing faith in just like everything that's going on in the leaders of the country in general. Not just Florida, not just that community that I was a part of where I worked. So I went home to tell him that, and he presented me with a bill. My husband was in a car accident when he was about like 16 years old, something like that. Had to get half of his digestives removed. So he has a lot of issues, and he is disabled. So my husband showed me this bill, and he said, I have to get this scan every year, every 3 years, every 5 years, depending on my symptoms, to just check if anything cancerous is inside. This bill for a procedure that I think would last 10 to 20 minutes long, that he will have to continue to get through his whole life. We were billed $10,000
Damn.
with his health insurance.
Damn.
The health insurance that he is paying for every single month out of his paycheck. Mind you, his paycheck was like not even $2,000 a month, maybe a bit more than that. For him, he was a Disney employee because he worked at Disney World. So he had his own health insurance, and mind you, Disney has some of the best insurance. It is one of the best companies to work for in the United States if you need health and...
It is? It is? It is? Look what you gotta do for it, though. Like, you gotta be a pure entertainer, though, if you work at Disney. There ain't no bad days for you. You gotta be a pure entertainer.
dental insurance and a bunch of other things. So with that in mind, all the benefits we had through his company, he still had to pay $10,000. And I'm thinking to myself, where are we getting $10,000 from? Because like $10,000 is my rent. $10,000 is just, for me, it would be two and a half months of my student loan debt that I'm paying off. I can't do that. We can't afford this. So we were both in agreement that we had to go back to Norway, especially for him being disabled and knowing that this is a lifelong thing that he will have to deal with.
Yo, the U.S.
Back and
what?
I was disapproved again. I had to pay for a lawyer. Oh gosh, I don't even know how much money I've spent on immigration. It's insane. I'm not saying that every country is like this, but Norway is very difficult for Americans to immigrate to Norway. It was very difficult to immigrate to Norway. So I ended up having to go back to the States because in Norway you have 3 months to stay as an American on a visitor's visa. Then you have to go back to the States for 3 months. I, again, very lucky, I got to go stay with my parents. Felt so sick for so many months. I'd done blood work in Norway, which, by the way, even without being a Norwegian citizen, the blood work and the appointments were like $40 every time I went, which is crazy to me. I didn't even pay taxes at the time. I was just on a visa. So yeah, I went back to the States and I found out that I was pregnant. And that's, I guess, why, I don't know, the blood work wasn't showing that I was really sick. That was a shock to me. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, again, here I am again. I'm going to figure out a way to be in Norway
And deliver that baby. I hope that's what she's about to say. I got to figure out a way to be in Norway, even if it's 4 to 3 weeks. We got to deliver this baby here. We got to deliver the baby here. No. Imagine you had the baby in the U.S. $30,000 off the bat. Bill her. What, you think I'm playing? $30,000 off the bat. Bill her. You better not have no baby in the U.S., man. Y'all think I'm playing, bro? Y'all really think I'm playing? I call my man. Where my phone at? I'll make a phone call right now. Mom. Mom. Bro, I remember my dad told me that, yo, this is for your sister. Like, I remember that when they gave birth to when she gave birth to my sister. My dad got that bill in the mail. And he was looking at it. And he was just like, what? When we go, how long was it going to take to pay this off? He's like, this is crazy, man. But he's so starstruck on having a kid, a daughter come into the world. Like, he's still happy and looped up on that. He wasn't really looking like, he wasn't really pissed right then and there at the price. But when he said it, I was $30,000. Yeah, that's how it is when you have a kid. And then hit him. It's about 2 months after when it really came due to like, it was due. It's time to pay. Oh my gosh. I tell you, boy, that's the funniest reaction I've ever seen out of him, bro. So, and what you gonna do? And it's like, what you gonna do? You gotta pay it. Or don't have a baby in hospitals.
The work wasn't showing that I was really sick. That was a shock to me. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, again, here I am again. I'm going to figure out a way to be in Norway, be with my husband, who's also the father of my child.
Word up.
Got to the lawyer and I started basically begging the Norwegian government, like showing them pictures. They wanted to see ultrasound pictures and whatnot. And I did it. I said, sure, here, have it. Can I please come there and at least give birth in Norway? Because I do not want to pay to give birth in the United States. I also know that Norway has a better medical situation going on than in the United States.
Do they?
That was finally when I got to be in Norway. I was approved, and I do not believe it was because I gave birth there. I had to fly over, 7 months pregnant. I had to fly over to Norway, and every procedure I got done was free. Mind you, I still was not approved for immigration. I was approved for immigration 1 month after my son was born. And I went to work. 1 month after I was born, I was like, oh my gosh, finally I can work, I can get some money, I can start thinking about building a future here. And that's when it really hit that I was happy to be in Norway and stay. And I'm not saying that it's easy. Immigrant life is very difficult. I did not have everything that I have when I started. So basically, all in all, I choose to continue to live in Norway, even though I miss my family so dearly. I miss a lot of things about the States. There's great things about the United States, there really are, but it's not worth it. It is not worth it for safety reasons. I do not want to raise my child in Norway. I don't, even myself, before I even had children, wanted to be living in the United States. Second of all, I have universal medical and dental insurance. My son will have that, and his is completely free. And as I am pregnant, everything will be free. Everything will be free unless it's some kind of voluntary thing that I want to do. I went and got the flu shot. You don't need to get the flu shot when you're pregnant in Norway, at least. So I just paid $30. $30. Hi, hello. My one job gives me $70 to about $100 an hour, depending on what I'm doing.
What job you got?
Actually,
What job you got? 70 to 100, depending on which. That's really good. Yo, that is excellent. That is excellent, actually. That's really good. Good for you. Good for you. Seriously.
To about
Good for you.
$100 an hour, depending on what I'm doing. Or actually per 45 minutes, not per hour. And then my other job is literally just working at a clothing store, and I'm making enough money to survive. I'm making enough money to survive. In the States, I could not survive.
She working at, let me guess, she working at the clothing store for the discounts, and she probably like the clothes. Hey, it be like that a lot of times. I don't know her situation, but it be like that a lot of times when you ask people, yeah, I have a whole nother job. I got a whole nother career. I'm like, really? Yeah, I really like the discounts. You know, my kids, I love the clothes here. And okay. And they don't mind it. They don't mind folding a little. It's probably easier than that career job they got. That retail is just a little, whew. It's a peace of mind job for them, you know? But for the young people, it's like, oh, we back here. Bro, nobody want to be here, man. I should have called out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm making enough money to survive. In the States, I could not survive. But I'm making enough money that if I really wanted to, I can go get my hair done every 3 months. I can buy some jewelry every once in a while. I can get my nails done. I can do some luxury things on top of just surviving. But the thing is, in the States, you can't even survive working at a grocery store, working as a school teacher. What the heck? People need their groceries. They need people to stock shelves or at least deliver it to them. That blows my mind. A teacher who's basically raising your children when you're not there. They're giving them knowledge. They're giving your children education for their future. Third,
it depends what teacher. It depends what teacher you got. Boy, it really does. Not saying she was probably an amazing teacher. I know she was, but there's just some teachers, you know. There were some teachers I would say, I think they were too young. I think they started too young. Like, as an adult realizing it now, I feel like they maybe started too young. Maybe teaching a certain age group too young or something. You know, it was a little harder for them to get through. Little kids driving them crazy. You know, I think throwing the lesson off. That's what I'm
giving your children education for their future. Third, I don't know where I was going. I was just going to say like a retail worker. Like when I was just folding t-shirts and restocking things, I was making enough money to survive. I could put food on the table. Well, that's it for today. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them for you. So leave them down below and give this video a like if you like it. And don't forget to subscribe.
This is a great video. Reacting to why I left the United States of America for Norway. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I can give you a list of reasons as to why people are leaving the U.S. I could give you so many reasons as to why. This was great, you know, especially hearing her perspective as a teacher, an understanding teacher. I love those type of teachers. Love them. I'll bring you an apple. You know what I'm saying? Love them type of teachers, man. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on, and share your honest thoughts and opinions and experiences down below in the comment section as always. Flood my comment section with more videos for us to react to. Stay safe, everyone. Feel free to follow my Kick for the live streams in the description down below. And subscribe to all my other YouTube channels in the description as well. Stay safe. I love you all, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video.